Hi, third grade. We are here with a new anthology text. The title of this anthology text is Amazing Wildlife of the Mojave by Lawrence Pringle. The genre is expository text. An expository text teaches the reader facts and information about a specific topic. Let's listen to the summary both in English and in Spanish to get to know a little bit more about this expository text.
Amazing Wildlife of the Mojave by Lawrence Pringle. This nonfiction article gives facts about some animals that live in the Mojave Desert. It is one of the driest, hottest places on Earth. The animals that live there have adapted to the heat and dry conditions in many different ways. The Chakwala is a big lizard that protects itself by hiding in a crack between rocks. It gulps in air, making its body fatter. Then it cannot be pulled out from the rocks by a predator. Getting enough water is a challenge in the desert. Small lizards, snakes, and the mice cannot travel far to get water. Their main source of water is the food they eat. Larger animals such as bobcats and coyotes are different. They can walk to a stream or puddle. Scorpions, desert iguanas, tortoises, and roadrunners have different ways to stay cool when it's hot and to warm up when it's cold. These creatures are just a few of the animals that make the Mojave Desert a lively, interesting place.
Amazing Wildlife of the Mojave. Este artículo de no ficción brinda datos sobre algunos animales que viven en el desierto de Mojave, uno de los lugares más secos y calurosos del planeta. Los animales que viven allí se han adaptado al clima seco y caluroso de muchas maneras. La Chuckwalla es un gran lagarto que se protege escondiéndose en las grietas de las rocas. Allí traga aire y su cuerpo se pone más gordo. Entonces, ningún depredador la puede sacar de la grieta en la roca. Conseguir suficiente agua es muy difícil en el desierto. Las lagartijas, las serpientes y los ratones pequeños no pueden desplazarse muy lejos para conseguir agua. Su mayor fuente de agua es la comida. Los animales más grandes, como los linces y los coyotes, son diferentes. Ellos pueden caminar hasta un arroyo o una charca. Los escorpiones, las iguanas del desierto, las tortugas y los correcaminos tienen maneras diferentes de mantenerse frescos cuando hace calor y de calentarse cuando hace frío. Estos son algunos de los tantos animales que hacen que el desierto de Mojave sea un lugar tan activo e interesante.
This expository text is going to teach us all about the Mojave Desert and the amazing animals that live there. Let's check out the essential question. How do animals adapt to challenges in their habitat? Read about how different animals in the Mojave Desert survive in a dry, hot place. Let's start reading.
Deserts are challenging places to live. They are dry and often very hot. Each year, only a few inches of rainfall in the Mojave, Mo-ha-ve. It is North America's smallest desert. It lies mostly in parts of Southern California and Southern Nevada. The Mojave has both mountains and valleys. It includes Death Valley, the lowest and hottest place in North America. On a car ride through the Mojave Desert, you may pass by many miles of bare, dusty earth and scattered bushes. However, on a morning hike, you can discover that a desert is a lively place. Birds sing, lizards scurry after insects, jackrabbits and roadrunners dash among the bushes and cactus plants.
Let's take a closer look at this photograph. What plants do you see? I see desert plants and bushes. What can we learn about the desert from looking at the photo? By looking at the photo, we can learn that this is a dry, hot place. Think back to the second paragraph. What types of animals live here? The text mentions birds, lizards, insects, jackrabbits, and roadrunners. Let's continue reading to see what else we can learn about the Mojave.
A living place. Although it is very dry, the Mojave is a living place or environment for many fascinating animals and plants. Over many years, they have changed or adapted, so they live very well in a dry, hot environment. They do this in different ways. In the Mojave, you might see several kinds of lizards. They are all related. All lizards are reptiles. Reptiles all have scaly skin. However, they are different in many ways. The desert spiny lizard, for example, is only a few inches long. Most of its food is insects. The Chuckwalla is very different. It can grow to almost 3 feet long. This big lizard eats leaves, flowers, and fruit of plants. It also has a special way of protecting itself. If a Chuckwalla senses danger, it quickly hides in a crack between rocks. Then it gulps in air, making its body fatter. It becomes tightly wedged in so that a predator cannot pull it out. This Chuckwalla will quickly squeeze itself between rocks if a predator comes near. The name Mojave means alongside water. It comes from the Mojave people. They were Native Americans who once lived along the lower Colorado River. The river flows through part of the Mojave Desert. Mojave Desert, Pacific Ocean, California, Nevada, Utah, Arizona, Mojave Desert, Death Valley National Park, Mojave National Preserve, Colorado River, Joshua Tree National Park. Key, green, national park or preserve. Blue, water. Orange, desert. This hawk looks out for food from the top of a yucca palm.
Here we have a text feature. This text feature is a map. Use the map key to find Death Valley. In what 2 states is it located? Death Valley is located in California and Nevada. Using the map, what river flows through part of the desert? The river that flows through part of the desert is the Colorado River. This map helps me to understand the text. It helps me to visualize the desert's size and location. It makes the information about the Mojave easier to understand. Let's look back into this paragraph. Down here, it talks about lizards. What signal word does the author use to introduce how lizards are the same? The author uses the signal word all to compare what all lizards have in common. It says all lizards are reptiles, but what other thing in this paragraph do all lizards have? The next sentence says, reptiles all have scaly skin. How are they different? The author uses the signal word however to explain that lizards are different in many ways. One of the ways that they are different is in their size. The spiny lizard is only a few inches, while the Chuckwalla can grow almost 3 feet long. The author also uses words like gulps and wedged to help me visualize what these lizards are doing. When I read the verb gulps, I imagined that this lizard was gulping in a big breath of air and holding his breath while he got all puffed up. Let's continue reading to see what other desert animals we can learn about.
Getting water in the desert. Animals get water in different ways in the Mojave. Coyotes, bobcats, and other large mammals can travel a long distance for a drink. So can some birds. Small lizards, snakes, and mice are different. They cannot travel far. They might prefer to drink from a stream or even a puddle, but these are rare treats in a desert. They find water in different ways. They get some from tiny drops of dew that form overnight on plants or stones. Their main source of water is the food they eat. Flowers, seeds, and leaves contain water. The bodies of insects, scorpions, and other animals are all at least half water. Some desert animals get most or all of the water they need simply by eating food. This coyote can travel far to find water.
After reading the section, Getting Water in the Desert, what did we learn that all animals need to survive? By reading this section, we learned that all animals need water to survive. Though all animals need water to survive, large animals get their water in different ways than small animals. The text said that large animals can travel long distances for a drink, whereas small animals are different and they can't travel very far, so they have to get their water in different ways. It says some can get their drinks from tiny drops of dew that form overnight on plants or on stones. But what is their main source of water? The text says their main source of water is in the food that they eat, that flowers, seeds, and leaves all contain water, and so does the bodies of these smaller insects that some of them eat.
Light colors help. People who live in or visit deserts often wear light-colored clothes. This is smart because dark colors take in, or absorb, sun energy, while light colors reflect it. You can avoid overheating by wearing light colors. Desert animals do the same by being light-colored. Being light-colored can help animals in another way. In the Mojave, the land is often colored tan, gray, and light brown. Pale mice, insects, or lizards are hard to see against this background. This gives the animals some protection from predators that try to catch and eat them. Not all desert animals are light-colored. In some parts of the Mojave, mice and lizards are much darker. They are different because they live among rocks and soil that are black or dark brown. In those places, darker colors help them hide and survive. Light-colored fur helps this kangaroo rat hide from predators.
What clue words help us determine what the word absorb means? The sentence says, "This is smart because dark colors take in or absorb." So they're explaining that it takes in, which is another way of saying absorbs. The opposite of absorbs is reflect. So dark colors absorb sunlight and light colors reflect it. So think about it. How would you want to dress if you spent a day in the desert? Would you wear light colors or dark colors? If you spent the day in the desert, it would be a good idea to wear light colors so that you did not absorb all that heat. You would want to reflect it away. What colors would help us to blend in with the desert? Colors that would help us blend in with the desert are tan, gray, and light brown. That's because those are the colors of the desert environment. All right, boys and girls, we are going to pause here in our Amazing Wildlife of the Mojave anthology text. So far, we have learned a lot about the life of these amazing desert animals, and I can't wait to learn more. Thanks for watching and learning with me today, and don't forget to check back tomorrow for part 2. Bye for now.